Hi there! An urban world full of cities. What do we make of it? Lots of different cities and metropolis, by the way. In India or in Africa, the growth of megacities is remarkable. But at the same time, small and medium-sized cities are also enjoying strong growth. Point one to remember, it's not entirely sure that the world will become always more centralized and concentrated around 10 megacities in the world. So, how do we make sense of this? The world of urban studies is a very lively intellectual world with different disciplines and traditions. In Africa, for instance, urbanization is often analysed in relation to colonization processes, hence the importance of port cities. But the scale of urbanization and the importance of informality in the organization of cities has led scholars to reflect upon the urban experience, combining old social groups, ethnic, family, clan, religion, with various forms of markets and state-making. In Jerusalem, conflicts and competitions between the Jews and Arabs are structuring the development of the city, including a particular state political project. And in the US, race is everywhere. The current period is full of excitement for urban scholars. Urbanization is massive, and the majority of the population is living in cities. Megapolis are reaching new fascinating dimensions, comprising more than 20 or 30 million inhabitants. Is this a new urban world? A new urban age, as put forward by the LSE group on cities? Scholars are at work trying to come out with new theories to make sense of this massive urbanization, with new concepts like cityness, planetary urbanization, global city regions. One of the ongoing major transformations is the relative decline of urban Europe. Historically, large cities and most dynamic urbanization processes took place in China, Central and South America, in the Arab world and in India. But then, the rise of the first trade capitalism in cities in medieval Europe and the slow making of a nation-state ensured, progressively, the domination of European cities. And that was to be shown in the 19th century, with vast colonial empires and the Industrial Revolution. But these days are gone. After the two world wars of the 20th century, the growth of the US and Japan, nowadays, rapid economic development and stunning urbanization processes take place in China, India, Southeast Asia, Africa or Latin America. No European metropolis appear among the top 20, among the biggest, largest metropolis, except Istanbul. The action in terms of cities and urbanization is taking place in the global south. Most urban theory, though, have been developed within leading and powerful universities in Europe and the US, based upon the experience of Western cities. Nowadays, innovative research is done in Brazil, Mexico, India, China, or the Center for African Cities in Cape Town. Some scholars argue that there is a need for new urban theory based upon global south cities. In other words, welcome! Welcome to the new urban age of a new millennium where new theories are needed to make sense of new urbanization processes, new culture, new subjectivities. Yes, but of course this MOOC will address some of those issues. But let's be clear, we will not try to reinvent the wheel. The development of new theories is always welcome and leads to major insight, sometimes. But the overemphasis on new concept and new theory, if possible derived from obscure thinkers, sometimes mask rather naive thinking and lack of empirical knowledge. The call for new theories and new imaginaries of the global south makes a lot of sense, is necessary. It does not disqualify existing theory a priori. Because we take a social science view on urbanization and cities, That means we take into account a lot of history. Let's remember that cities are not entirely new. The urban world did not start with Florence or London or New York or today with Lagos or São Paulo. As historian Peter Clark writes, cities appear to have originated in Mesopotamia, modern Syria and Iraq, around the 4th millennium BC. Then appear in the Nile River Valley and afterwards are found across the Mediterranean world. Cities also emerge on an important scale in the Indus Valley during the Mature Harappan era, and in China reach a high point of development by the 3rd millennium BC. This MOOC is not about the urban history of the world, but a reminder of some past experiences might be useful to sketch some characteristics of urbanization process, cities and metropolis. Famous old scholars from Ptolemy and Herodotus in Greece or Ibrahim Khaldun in Morocco and Cairo have, among others, transmitted detailed history, knowledge and understanding of antique cities. This session will first review some insights from ancient cities before taking that stock to understand a strategy to analyze cities and metropolis.